now more than ever is not the time to be slacking whenever it comes to spiritual warfare. We got to be really keeping up on what we're letting in our field at this moment, and I've kind of stopped paying too much attention to the stuff going on the world stage. I know it's quite hectic. Seen bits and pieces, but I didn't get like in depth with it like I used to in the past. But the thing is, just not paying attention to that stuff is not going to get you out of the spiritual warfare. Like, we view a lot of the stuff as going on the world stage, which is the case. A lot of the stuff on the world stage is spiritual warfare, but it's happening in your soul. So even if you're not paying attention to that, the main battleground that our spiritual warfare is going on in is our soul, our spirit. That's why it's called spiritual warfare. So even if you're not paying attention necessarily to the big things in the news, it's the things in your daily life that need to be focused on and worked on at the moment, and really be just like vetting what you let in your field, honestly. Just don't be letting things in that you know impact your energy. And I made the mistake of doing that recently. Like music genres that I thought I might have grew out of in the past, I went back and gave it another whirl. I mean, I'm not exactly even sure why, but your attachments to things of the Matrix at the moment, I think, are going to be very, very tested. You're going to have to go through that testing period. And I think that's kind of what's been going on, at least for me, and I feel like probably a lot of other people too in these recent times, is your attachments being tested, really, to test to see if you're going to still go back into these old habits, loops, patterns, or if you're going to continue on moving forth and aligning with your highest purpose and timeline. Because these things, you can't be so attached to them, these things that are of the past and of lower versions of yourself. Like, at one point you might have been so attached to it, but if you knew it affected your energy and you got rid of it for that reason, there's no going back to it whatsoever, whatever it may be. You'll try to justify it, really. You'll try to justify, like, oh, this is just this, it can't even be that bad. And if you just, like, observe it on a microcosm or whatever, it might not seem too bad if you isolate it, but if it's affecting your energy and you know it's affecting your energy, even if it's just something small, then it's something big if you go through with it, because it's affecting your spirit. You're essentially engaging with spiritual war. You're allowing it into your vessel. You're allowing attacks through, demonic attacks, whenever you participate in that, no matter how small you may think it be. And we're probably a lot of people have to go through that firsthand experience in order to get that lesson to go through your head. I'm just here to give a message. And I know that a lot of people struggle with things like this. I have, and yeah, it's not an easy struggle letting go of these past attachments, because, like, really everything around us, almost everything that we use as a form of entertainment, whatever, no matter how minor it may be, most of it is attached to the Matrix. That's any distraction, really. Even good music still kind of hinders your presence, right? You know what I mean? Yeah, you could probably... So I'm going to get a bit better lighting. You could be present and still listen to music. Maybe you're that kind of person. But for me, it just takes me away from that deeper presence that I'm with pure light. You know what I mean? You got to be, like, focused on that energy to kind of stay in that energy, I feel like. And whenever you let in these, like, seemingly minor distractions, they slowly detract from that. And you'll feel it affecting your energy. And you might think, oh, it's not that bad. You'll continue with it. But no, that's how you get in a loop and a pattern that kind of just gets you restless, right? I was feeling restless before I made this video, but then I just went and switched something up, right? I decided I'm gonna go out for a walk, beautiful nature. I wasn't even gonna bring my camera. I turned back though, because like the 20 seconds after I got outside, I did some breathing, closed my eyes and looked in the direction of the sun. I already felt better. That restlessness was gone whenever I started doing something that connects me with pure light. I'm sorry about that helicopter sound, guys. It's about to go over me. Woo! But yeah, whenever you connect to things that are tapping into that pure light within you, aligning you with pure light, your highest purpose, authentic truth, you're not going to feel that restlessness. You're only going to feel that restlessness if it's something that you still need to work through, or if it's because you're actively engaging in something that's affecting your energy, something that's ingraining you in the Matrix. yeah, whenever you're consciously or unconsciously going against what your gut instinct is telling you. I mean, all of us have intuition and discernment. We just got to practice it, right? If we're going to practice our discernment, we better listen to it. And you kind of have to listen to it to practice it. It's a double-edged sword like that. But yeah, I don't know if that's the right phrase, whatever though. But yeah, if you're going to build your discernment, it's important that you stay, what would be the word? Very rooted in that discernment. And you're not going to go off path, right? So you get the discernment on a certain situation, you get yourself out of it. There's no playing around anymore. This is a very consequential time. If you have the intuition, the discernment, you're being told by God to get yourself out of a situation, to stop a specific pattern, loop, you better get out of it, or it's gonna weigh on your soul until you do. And you're just gonna go through that loop until it gets too much, and then you can ascend from it. So you gotta walk through it with grace, patience, trust, and just like get yourself out of these situations that are getting you in that energy, and do things like get outside, do grounding, those types of things that will honestly enhance your relationship with God. Because, I mean, in this world, what could you honestly imagine that's worldly, that is more pure light than nature? Nothing humans have made, I'll say that. A lot of people might think music, but that one's kind of iffy. That industry is, yeah, very deceptive. A lot of the stuff that even like maybe seems happy, like that shit got subliminal stuff in it that is aimed to destroy your soul. So you got to be very discerning if you're going to listen to music. You can't just go willy-nilly Spotify. Oh, I hear 2 seconds of this song, let's add it to my playlist. Or some random song comes up. You got to be paying attention to the lyrics, because they tend to mix in, if you don't have the premium version of Spotify, for example, they mix in music that you don't have on your playlist, and then it might catch you, and you're just listening to it in the moment. You're kind of liking it, right? But it's your first time hearing it, but you haven't done that vetting that I like to do. If I'm going to be listening to something, I tend to like to see how it's impacting my energy. And even sometimes I'll get attached to like a song or something that isn't optimally interacting with my energy, and I'll go through that cycle of listening to it until it comes to a head and I get rid of it, which is what I gotta do. I mean, you gotta be very vigilant all the time, but yeah, don't allow yourself to get into that rut, that loop of going back, leaving something behind, going back to it. If you're gonna leave something behind, do your best to leave it behind for good. Remember the reasons why you dropped it. And like I said, very much so vet everything you're doing, all of your actions, and all of the things that you're participating in, like entertainment, whatever. How is that affecting your actions? Whenever you're engaging in entertainment, let's be honest, are you as present and focused and connected to pure light as you are whenever you're going out here and doing this? I mean, it might seem like it's just, I could do this once in a while, but how is it really affecting your energy, right? And you got to be honest with yourself about how it's affecting your energy. I want to go into an example recently in my life. I think that kind of started this little loop, which I'm exiting, is Ratchet and Clank Tools of Destruction. I played that game a lot whenever I was younger, and I recently just like I don't even know what made it come back up, but I wanted to play the game for whatever reason. Let's move around, get some better light. Woo, spinny. And my gut was telling me not to, but I kind of justified it. I went into the store. I was not going to buy the game, right? I mean, I got rid of video games as a habit to begin with, so why am I going back to it? So I picked up the game, I changed my mind, I put it back down. But then I went outside and watched a video relating to the game, and it convinced me to go back in and just pick that game right back up against my instinct. And it felt like spiritual war. I felt like a lot of tension in my body while I was doing it. And I should have, in that moment, been connecting with pure light and asking for the strength to pass up the opportunity to engage with that desire. Not all desire is good, I'll tell you that. Most desire ain't good. Only the desire to pursue pure light in all facets that you can is the desire that's worthy of pursuit. But I picked up the game, and I won't swear again. That affected my energy, right? I've been on and off in a rut for a couple weeks now. Whenever it comes to entertainment, at least, like, I've been doing my other stuff good. I kind of probably haven't been doing my prayers or whatever as much as I should have been, but I've been creating behind the scenes content that's going to be coming up soon. I think that one's going to turn out really good. I bought myself this camera, this Osmo Pocket 3, and things are going smooth on that end. Like, with my chores, my duties, I've been upholding it pretty well, but I've been dropping my standards for entertainment to levels that I previously exited, right? Like, I started listening to electronic music again. I essentially came to the conclusion that music in general, really, it seems at the moment is kind of corrupt. And I think that's kind of because of the music softwares, these DAWs, digital audio workstations. Music, I believe, the softwares are corrupt to the core, demonically influenced, inspired. So the fruit that the software is going to grow is inherently going to be rotten, right? So I believe down to the very source of music at the moment, it's in a very bad state, and we need to save the music, honestly. It's very strong spiritually, but not necessarily getting the proper use at the moment. Sorry if it's a little bit dim. I'll continue walking though anyway. It got a little dark here. Woo! Let's take this ND off, maybe. Nope. That's in the footage though. So yeah, I got in a bit of a rut because of that, and whenever I got the game, I was talking to my mom about this, right? And kind of looking for a way to justify myself playing it, to take the weight off of my consciousness of playing what my instinct was telling me not to. It might have seemed small, so I partook in a conversation with my mom about this, and essentially deceived myself into getting validation to play it, even against what I was being told in my spirit whenever I thought of the idea of it. And like, whenever I became so attached to the idea of it, like right after coming back up with it, right? Like, I rediscovered the game and I was instantly like attached to the idea of it, like couldn't let it go. Why would I be willing to sacrifice this discernment, this intuition I've built, to play something that just came back up to mind? I haven't played it in well over a decade. The idea just popped into my head. Why would I sacrifice all that growth that I've made? Huh, that's cool. 444. But yeah, why would I sacrifice all of that growth just to play a video game? I mean, I don't even consider myself anymore to be someone who enjoys playing video games. I got rid of that habit because I switched it out for movies, which even hard to partake in at the moment. You know how bad the music industry is as well? That's another thing that's, I don't know. I gotta drop my attachment to film as well. I wouldn't say all film, but most film. It's phony down to the core. The music industry is bad, guys. If you think that the Diddy situation, the other situation that we won't even bring that into this, but the music industry is that. The music industry is, and the film industry, really all celebrity idol worship industry, is completely rotten and evil down to the core, demonically fueled, satanic as all HELL. It just is that way, and that's a tough pill to swallow for this generation who has thrived. I wouldn't necessarily say thrived, whose growth has been stunted by our attachment to entertainment. At least that was my personal experience. That's what in my life has been holding me back from my purpose. Sorry, I don't know if it's been tracking, but what has been holding me off of my purpose the most in my life has honestly been entertainment. And Like the idea that I'd have to separate myself from entertainment to grow, it started off with even just doing the dishes. Like I got in a victim mentality over that whenever I was younger. And to a degree, the idea of letting go of it is still a victim mentality. It's like, why should I have to let go of this? Why can't this little thing, why can't we have entertainment? But if the entertainment's rotten, you don't want to be participating in that entertainment. There's forms of entertainment that we can partake in that is pure light. We listen to our soul, our divine guidance, we're protected, and we listen to the nudges of where we're being told to go. And yes, we could find entertainment in mundane things. Not every moment has to be exhilarating or dopamine fueled, although tends to be the way things swing this way these days. But no, doesn't always have to be that way. We gotta find enjoyment in simple things. Otherwise, what is the purpose of life if you can't enjoy little moments? If you need these constant distractions to enjoy life, is that even life? That's not even your own life. Watching a movie is not, I would not say, your own life. It's just not. In fact, it's distracting you from your own life. So it's time that we really start debating these topics in our minds and using our discernment and intuition whenever we're gifted it. And, follow through on our discernment and intuition and not ignore it. That's how you affect your energy even worse, is whenever you get the intuition on a certain thing, you get that nudge not to do it, but you partake anyway. That's really stabbing yourself in the back. And once you experience feeling what that's like, you're not going to even want to do that. Getting in a loop of self-sabotage is painful, and there's many ways, not even just with entertainment. But that's not what you want to do. We got to be vetting what we let in. Here, now, in this moment, we change. We accept these changes that we have to make, and we don't have fear. Moving forward, we know that we're in abundance and prosperity in any moment, no matter what we're doing. We don't have to be doing anything particularly to be in abundance and prosperity. We just have to be in the presence of pure light of God and do that as consistently as we can, and get rid of the things, purge the things out of our lives that distract us from that. Have a great day, and so it is.